Hi everybody, this is Todd with the Forex Nitty Gritty Insiders Daily video. Hope you had a fantastic weekend and the market is going well for you. Thought what I would do today is just kind of run through a little bit of what I look for when we put on our daily and weekly support and resistance levels, and kind of what we're looking for here as we place these. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up thing here that we're going to look at for being able to draw these lines, and I'll try to get it so that everybody can see it here. So give me 1 second to kind of move things over. So you can see here we've got the chart of the euro dollar on the daily time period. And what we're doing here is we're really just looking to identify a couple things. And we typically will go and look at drawing kind of the high and the low, and we're kind of sitting on the lows right now with the big move that we've seen in the euro dollar on the daily time period. And then we look for areas where we've identified some relevant resistance or support. I'm just drawing some lines on here to kind of give us an idea of where those areas might be. Now, what you'll find is that obviously areas up top here are going to be less relevant than areas that are closer to the current price. And so you'll typically see more emphasis placed on those current levels so that we can identify better where we may be getting in or getting out of trades, or where we may set targets, or where we may set stop losses in order to exit out of those positions. So that's kind of how we'd look at this one here. And then we go to the next one, and we'll just kind of do this for every chart here. And let me go ahead and pull this one up on the Aussie dollar. And we're basically going to do the same thing. We look for the significant levels of resistance or support. Draw our lines on here. Then we're going to look at the more recent areas where we have seen those support or those resistance areas come into play. And that's all that we do. And when you're looking to develop areas of support or resistance on the chart, you want to be able to obviously look at some things that are significant and being able to determine where to place those. And looking at prior highs and prior lows are important to do that. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Now we also do that same thing for the 30-minute chart. And so we would look at identifying the same types of highs and lows for that. Now, a couple things I want you to pay particular attention to when we talk about support and resistance. There's a few things that we need to consider. I'm just going to write them down here for us so that we can remember them. One is the more recent that we can identify, or where we've seen support or resistance, the more recent that is, the more relevant it is going to be for us. So recency equals relevancy. If it was a year ago and we're on a 5-minute chart, probably not as significant, especially if it's far away from where it currently is sitting. Second thing that we want to look at is the number or the frequency of that area acting as support or resistance. So for example, if we are looking at something like this, where it's hit resistance, 1, 2 times, that's going to be less significant than if we see something like this, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the frequency that it acts as an area of support or resistance, the more relevant that area is going to be. Now, we can look at a couple of things. We can look at our levels as being horizontal in nature. So support or resistance, like we drew before, where it's just kind of in this area here, it's horizontally based. Or it's price based, where it's based off of a certain price level that the pair is not able to move beyond, or it experiences a barrier to its movement. Second time is diagonal, or trending support or resistance. And that's kind of what we see here, where we've got a little bit of trending support or resistance, where we have resistance acted as support here, support acting as support in this area here. And the other thing that I want you to recognize is that support and resistance are not necessarily perfect in how they are drawn on the charts, or how we actually see them. We can draw them perfectly, but that doesn't mean that we're going to see that on the charts. So anyway, take that into consideration. Practice drawing your own support resistance and see where you can find areas where the price may be getting ready to stop its movement. So with that, we'll wrap it up for today. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll talk to you soon.